Cryptocurrency market capitalization just crossed $206 billion and broke $200 billion for the first time in over a month after a 6-month downtrend. Could the bears be going home, packing up their bags? Could the bulls be coming back? We're going to talk about that as it relates to Litecoin in particular today. But in general, as a crypto investor and enthusiast, I am pumped up about the activity I'm seeing in the market lately. Hopefully you are too. If it's your first time stopping by, my name's Anthony. I want to welcome you to Crypto Ride, invite you to join the community by subscribing. On this channel, we help you guys navigate the ups and downs of the craziest asset class on earth through crypto news videos, technical analysis, and project review videos. And like I said, today we've got a technical analysis. We're going to talk about the Litecoin chart, take kind of a macro look at the last bear market and this one, do some comparison, as well as look at the short term and talk about what we could be expecting moving forward. But first, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about market cycles. I made a few videos on this topic towards the end of the last bear market, but at that point my channel was a lot smaller, so you may not have seen that. But if you're unaware that market cycles exist, I want to talk about how to understand them and basically as a whole what a market cycle is. If you don't know this, it's these big fluctuations between bear and bull markets. Understanding market cycles helps us make better investment decisions. Bitcoin, altcoins, and every other asset of value in the world goes through market cycles. So this applies to the stock markets, to all sorts of other currencies like the US dollar, gold. And knowing to the best of our ability where we are in a cycle can help us a great deal. So I want to talk about really what Litecoin has been doing, which of course mirrors a lot of the cryptocurrencies. What I think has been happening is we saw this peak here and we fell down past the anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation stage. And I believe that we are somewhere in this anger and depression stage. Now, it is possible we're starting to come out of this just a little bit, but it is also possible that we have just a little bit lower to go. And I'm not here to tell you which way it's going or make predictions, but I'm here to just show you what I'm seeing and let you think about it for yourself. Right now, we're looking at the Coinbase chart for Litecoin US dollar on a weekly time frame. So you can see here we had the big run up. We went parabolic at the end of 2017 into 2018, and then we had our long-term downtrend. Now in 2019, it didn't get quite as insane and go parabolic, but we did bubble up to the point where we needed to correct. You can see the similarities between the two charts. So first things first, let's just talk about these major downtrends, how long they were. This was in December of 2017 and lasted until we broke out of it until August 27 of 2018. So about 8 months. This year, on June 10th, we hit a peak for the year around, that was really in anticipation of the Litecoin halving, and we got up to about $150. And now we've been heading downwards, and we broke out of it here in October. So this was a shorter downtrend, but that doesn't concern me because this was a much bigger move upward. So the question is, where are we going from here? So let's take a look at what happened the first time. Now, after we broke out here, we went sideways for a little bit, and then we came down a little bit further. And if you guys remember, just over a year ago, you could buy Litecoin for about $20. Hopefully you got some at that point. And then this year, the low that we've seen is $36. So the question on everyone's mind, including mine, is are we finished moving downwards? In this video, even though I've got the arrow going up in the thumbnail, I'm going to talk to you about why we might be done going downwards, but we might have a little bit lower to go, and really what needs to happen for this to stay bullish. Because even though it's been real exciting to watch the markets during the first week in January, it's all happened on really low volume. I want you to look at this blue line, and what this represents is the 50-day moving average. And you can see in this current bull market, we fell below this back in September, and we have remained below this up until now. Again, this is on the weekly time frame. If you look at the daily, it will look a little bit different. But on the weekly time frame, we've remained below that. What we all need to see happen as investors is we need to get above this 50-day moving average. And you can see over here on April 8th of 2019, we had this huge green candle here moving upwards. And it came on a lot of volume. And that volume seemed to come almost out of nowhere, right? Even though we were kind of moving up leading up to it. And it is possible that we're going to start to move up and break through, but that's what we need to see happen in order for me personally to get really excited that we are moving up towards the Bitcoin halving in May and that we could really be done with this bear market at the moment. The other thing I want to point out is the RSI. What I want to show you is on the weekly chart how we actually got all the way down to 30% when we bottomed out. This was on December 3rd of 2018. But here, I want you to notice that we haven't gotten quite that low yet. And if you don't know much about the relative strength index or the RSI, basically when prices are oversold is really when you get to the 30 or even down below that 30% level. So for me, I think it's possible that we could be moving lower, especially since we haven't seen much volume. Let me tell you a little bit more about what I'm seeing for the short term. And what we're looking at now is a daily chart, and I just want to show you a pattern that I've identified here, and this is a descending wedge. It's a pattern I've talked about on this channel, and it looks really negative, but believe it or not, this is a reversal pattern. So once we break out of here with a little bit of conviction, you can see this price head higher. And you can see we are at the top of this pattern right now, so this is a key moment. Okay, so now that we're zoomed in a little bit closer, you can see that we are looking to break out of this, and it's actually happening as we speak, and it's going to be interesting what happens in the next 24 to 48 hours to see if we can hold above this. And as you can see here, we've also on the daily chart, not on the weekly, we've also just breached the 50-day moving average, which is coming right in line with this downtrend, which is the top of the descending wedge. It's going to be really interesting to see where we close here and if we can hold that. And we need to see even more volume in order to sustain the move. But this is good. If you look at the candles, we do have an engulfing green candle here, which happened on January 3rd, and we have been moving up ever since. It's been a great start to 2020, but I just want to talk about if we head lower, where we could potentially be going, just so you guys are not entirely surprised if we happen to break downwards. Not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying based on this amount of volume, it is a real possibility if we don't close above this. And if we do fall, we could fall down to this yellow line here, which is $29. We could be looking at a $30 Litecoin before we break out. Now, I don't want that to happen at this point. I've had enough of this bear market, but I just want to let you guys know what is possible. It's conceivable that this pattern could actually last until March or so, till the end of Q1, but hopefully it won't last that long. And if we get lucky, we can see this thing break out. And the next area of resistance that I would say, if we get lucky enough to break out, would probably be here. We've got the overhead resistance of $48, but if we get past that, I would say up here at $62. I want to ask you guys to like the video. If you are bullish on cryptocurrency in 2020, comment below, where do you think Litecoin is headed right now? And where do you think cryptocurrency is headed right now? I also want to thank you for watching and invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Again, my name is Anthony. I want to say enjoy the ride. Never invest more than you can afford to lose, and I'll see you in the next video.